You're listening to a Brooklyn Nets episode of the Jacob Valk Show. He's breaking down the team's latest goings-on as only he can. Follow him on Twitter at RealJacobValk. Here he is, Jacob Valk.
Nets fans! Welcome to another Brooklyn Nets episode of the Jacob Valk Show. I am Jacob Valk. And yes, this is the Brooklyn Nets show. So I'm not going to talk about the Sam Darnold trade. Believe me, there's a lot I want to say about it. I've been preparing for this day for months. But this just isn't the right forum for it. And I'm not going to do a special show about it. I don't think that's right. So I'm going to talk about the Sam Darnold trade on tomorrow's episode of the Jacob Valk Show. If the March Madness title game is a blowout, I will lead with Darnold. If it's not, Darnold will be the second story. But now on to the Brooklyn Nets. You remember how on Friday I said that this Nets defense is great. They held the Hornets to under 100 points. They're unstoppable, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, they followed it up by allowing 115 points to the Chicago Bulls, allowing them to shoot 55% from the field. Yeah, that wasn't fun. But you gotta realize, of the big three, only Kyrie played. And I don't think the Bulls are awful. I do think they can go on a big run, seeing as though they just traded for Nikola Vujovic. Also, they only lost by 8. If Harden plays, or if Durant plays, they win that game. It's okay to be upset about it. You're a fan. You don't want to see your team lose. Of course. But you've got to be realistic about it. There are some losses where you need to say, yeah, this stinks, but it's not the end of the world. I mean, now you have the news that Durant is going to come back soon, maybe even this week. This team is unstoppable. I mean, yes, they may lose some games here and there, but in terms of losing 4 games in a 7-game series, that's impossible. I just don't see how that's going to happen. This team may even go the whole playoffs without losing 4 games. I mean, you've got some Nets fans upset about the Johnson and Shamet injuries. Tyler Johnson is out indefinitely with a knee injury. And Landry Shamet seems to have re-aggravated his ankle injury. But let me tell you, Tyler Johnson isn't that good. The guy averages 5.5 points per game. Tyler Johnson is just a catch and shooter. That's it. As much as I don't like Timothé Luwawu-Cabarrot, he can fill that same role and maybe not be as good, but he won't embarrass himself out there. The Shamet injury, yeah, it stinks. I really like Shamet. He was playing really well this month. He had 17 against the Hornets and 13 against the Bulls. That's a tough one, but again, the Nets do have the depth necessary to survive it. This is what their starting lineup is going to be tonight against the Knicks. Harden, Irving, Harris, Aldridge, and Claxton. And off the bench, you've got Brown, TLC, Green, and Jordan. Maybe you'll see Reggie Perry. Maybe you'll see Elise Johnson. Probably not, though. The Nets are fine. They can survive those injuries very easily. They've survived the Durant injury for this long. And yeah, Griffin being out obviously isn't ideal, but it's the second game of a back-to-back. So you knew that Griffin wasn't going to play. All the regular season is getting these guys tuned up for the playoffs. That's it. They're in the playoffs. That's a guarantee. In fact, they're guaranteed to be a top 3 seed. They're probably going to be the top seed. With a win tonight, they're a half game up on the Sixers. And let me tell you, I'll be rooting for the Celtics tomorrow. But quite honestly, seeding is irrelevant. The only thing that matters is getting this team fully healthy in advance of the first round. Obviously minus Spencer Dinwiddie. But Durant needs to be at 100%. Harden needs to be at 100%. Irving needs to be at 100%. Everyone else needs to be at 100%. You can't take anything for granted. Look, as it stands right now, the Nets and Knicks are going at it in the first round. The Knicks will play the Nets tough. The Celtics will play the Nets tough. You can't look past anyone. Get these guys at 100% health-wise and chemistry-wise. The one thing that I'm not crazy about is that the Big Three has only played 7 games together. James Harden has been a Net for 3 months. And you've got to think that the Nets are gonna sit Harden for a few games. I know he just sat against the Bulls, but still, he's been playing a lot recently. I just want to make sure that the Nets don't run him into the ground before the playoffs start. Because we're going to want these guys playing like 35 minutes per game. That's a tough ask for the human body. To run up and down a basketball court for 35 minutes. For anywhere from 16 to 28 nights. I mean, I have people saying to me, Jacob, aren't you upset that Durant isn't playing? No, I'm not. It means that he's going to be 100% for the playoffs. I don't care if Griffin sits. He's going to be 100% for the playoffs. I don't care if Kyrie needs to take some days off. As long as those days don't come during the NBA playoffs, let him do whatever he wants. In fact, let me tell you, Harden is leading the NBA in minutes per game this year with 37.9. Julius Randle is second. He's a minute behind Harden. Let's cool that off a little bit, Steve Nash. I just want to make sure Harden doesn't get run into the ground before the playoffs start. Do I think that's going to happen? No. I think Nash is too smart for that. He knows what these guys are going through. The Nets have an excellent sports science team. And you know that these guys are more than comfortable saying, Coach, I need to take a few days off. I'm running on fumes here. It's all about the playoffs. It's all about getting these guys 100% for the playoffs. Maybe what you do is, by May, you say to these guys, hey, I want you guys to play together. I want you guys to get fully comfortable with each other before the playoffs start. I'm not saying they're not comfortable with each other, but at the end of the day, they have limited in-game experience together. Yes, they're great friends. Yes, they're practicing together. Yes, they spend time off the court together. But there's no substitute for in-game action. It's going to be tough for Nash to manage load management and getting these guys 100% comfortable with each other in advance of the playoffs. But I do think he can do it. I think the sports science team will help him. There's no doubt in my mind that the Nets will be fine entering the playoffs. I don't know what seed they're going to be. It doesn't matter. And it's basically a guarantee that they will win the NBA Finals. I will be absolutely gobsmacked if they don't win. Just don't get complacent, boys. Don't take anything for granted. Once the playoffs start, go all out in every game. If you do that, there will be a championship parade in Brooklyn. Until next time, I am Jacob Valk saying that I leave no wallaby untamed.